So hi everyone, welcome to Supreme Status YouTube channel and welcome to the cognition session. So we see main topic in the cognition session and we are taking one question and we are discussing about that question for the mains preparation. And today I have taken topic disaster management, which is GS paper 3, General Studies paper 3. You can see disaster management, one separate topic is there, and every year one question will be asked from that disaster management topic. And this is some kind of new area or one research topic in the disaster management itself. It's a pilot project where it is in the process of research and development. So UPSC may ask questions directly from this topic, or you can use this topic in questions related to the disaster management, or in interview also you will be definitely asked one question about disaster management. So if that question is asked, means you can use this particular topic for your answer, for giving the answer. So before going to the topic, let's see a question I have framed, and this is based on the crowdsourcing. So crowdsourcing for the management of disaster. So crowdsourcing, how crowdsourcing is used for the disaster management. This is the question, and now let us see the slide. I'll read the question now. As climate change unfolds worldwide, disaster impact is expected to worsen. However, crowdsourcing coupled with mobile technology and social media can rapidly change the face of disaster preparedness and response. Comment. So 250 words. So this question you are asked to write your comment on 250 words. Basically, in the questions asked means if the question is asked about the comment, means you have to write the facts and then you have to write your opinion or your thought process. Definitely you have to give the facts, that is very important, then only you can score high marks with respect to these kind of comment based questions. So I have created a slide separately for the introduction part, because this contains important essential data which can be used for any kind of disaster management questions. So let us see the slide for the introduction. So here first the question itself is saying about climate induced disaster. So you have to introduce the answer writing with some facts related to the disaster related to weather. So climate change induced disasters you have to indicate. So in the introduction, see a disaster related to weather, climate change or water hazard occurred every day on an average over the past 50 years. So it is saying that every day we are facing a disaster related to weather, climate or water hazard, and also some data like killing 115 people daily and are causing $202 million losses daily. So this is the report by World Meteorological Organization. So definitely you have to quote this report, the organization which is releasing this report, then only you can score high marks. And this particular report is a World Meteorological Organization report, where you can use this report in your answer writing. So if you start your answer writing with the facts, means especially with this kind of authenticated facts, means it will catch your evaluator's eyebrows. So very catchy point, you can start with the answer writing with these facts. And also the next thing is the number of disaster has increased by factor of 5 over 50-year period. So driven by the climate change. That means the extreme weather events are because of this climate change only. You can see the example. For example, you can see an unseasonal rains or extreme weather conditions in Texas, or wildlife fire in Australia. So these are related to the global warming. Climate change also. So climate change induced weather events, and these certainly impact creates a huge amount of losses on the people, especially these kind of disasters. Our early warning systems and disaster management, it has decreased the number of deaths actually, but one factor which is lagging is in all this early warning system is that they are not able to capture the real-time data. So real-time information gathering or real-time data, it cannot be obtained by these early warning systems. So this kind of vacuum is solved by the crowdsourcing. So that means crowdsourcing of information from the disaster prone areas. Now let us see what is crowdsourcing and about the crowdsourcing users. So before we delve into the answer, we have to write one more thing also, because in case of India also we have been ranked 7th in the global climate risk index. So our rank is 7th because we are facing almost in all the sites we are facing the disasters. You take examples of Mumbai, or take examples of Odisha, or in the Chennai floods, Uttarakhand rains. So in all the topographies, whether it is related to the oceans or hilly areas, we are facing disasters. So we are ranked 7th in the global climate risk index. This also needs to be indicated in your answer writing, so that you can get an added marks. Additional marks for your answers. So now let us see the crowdsourcing. So what is crowdsourcing? So you can see what is crowdsourcing. That means sourcing of information from the crowd. All of you would have given your opinion poll in the Facebook, or some kind of survey will be shown in the YouTube. if you watch means often very often you can see some kind of survey has been asked in the YouTube. That is one kind of crowdsourcing. So most of the people, they will give the information in that survey, and that is kind of crowdsourcing, which will be used to by those data will be used by the YouTube for its business purpose. So here we are using the same crowdsourcing for the purpose of disaster management. So essentially, what is crowdsourcing is a use of public intelligence for gathering the information. So this is very important, use of the public intelligence for gathering the information. So we can see one real-time example, a Peta Bencana initiative, which is already running in the Indonesia. So here we can see a real-time example of how crowdsourced data has been used for the disaster response. And this particular website and this particular project is one of the projects in Indonesia. And why Indonesia we have chosen this? Indonesia is a disaster-prone country because it is located in the Pacific Ring of Fire. Pacific Ring of Fire means all the nations which are located in the Pacific Ring of Fire, they are prone to disasters like volcanic eruptions or earthquake, because tectonic plates there, it is moving continuously. So that is why those areas there are so many active volcanoes also there. So particularly Indonesia is facing heavy rains, earthquakes, volcanic eruptions. So these kind of disasters are frequently faced by the Indonesia. And now we will see how this initiative, that particular initiative, Peta Bencana initiative, it is useful for Indonesia to mitigate their disaster and for disaster response. Importantly, this initiative is being used by Indonesian government itself for providing relief or disaster response activities. So how it is being used is Peta Bencana initiative. It is a kind of platform where they are having one app, or also they are having one website also, dedicated website also. So people can log into the website and they can directly update the details with respect to their how much disaster has been faced in that particular area, or how much flood. For example, take for example, if that particular area is affected by flood, means they can share some pictures in that platform, or they can share information regarding how much depth the flood has been there, or water logging is there. So this kind of information they can share, and people can no need to every time go into the website and update it. They can also use social medias like Twitter, Facebook, and any other Instagram like that, and they simply need to tag Peta Bencana. That's all. So if the tag means automatically the data from the Twitter will be transformed into that Peta Bencana platform also. So this much of importance and useful this kind of initiatives is providing, and it is one of the non-profit organization initiative only, as you can see here, Disaster Map Foundation. So you can see here the real-time examples. See the map, how it has been. It is showing the disaster areas. So it is showing the alert levels also. So based on the information shared, it will share that alert level. So particular area, because though entire nation is affected by the particular disaster, but the impact will differ based on the topography. Particularly one particular area, it may be impacted very severely than another area. So based on the micro segmentation, I mean that micro area information, it will give the alert level. Particularly here you can see the photos shared by the normal citizens. So it's a kind of initiative where government can easily plan their disaster response activities. So take for example, if a particular area is affected by the flood, means they won't get a particular information about the real-time information about how much water has been logged in that area. So without that information, some kind of activities, if for example rescue activities or any activities which is involving providing food, means they can plan. So they will get the data from this crowdsourced information, and they can plan accordingly whether any boats can be used for providing foods into the particular area, or it can be provided only through the drones or any other helicopters like that. So this kind of rescue operations are very vital, especially when the disaster is hit. It means these kind of response are immediately needed a response. So based on that real time information, we can easily plan our activities. I mean, government can easily plan their activities, and also some volunteers who are going to help the people, means they can also plan their activities based on these things. So this kind of information and this kind of impact is providing for disaster management. Also within the 2G internet itself, it will be they can easily use this platform. So no need of getting a 4G or 5G network. So even a normal internet connection is enough to share the information, because you know that in the starting periods that network connectivity may be an issue, but definitely people will have some kind of internet connection, basic internet connection. So using that internet connection, they can easily share the details with the social media or in the platform. to provide some crucial information. So actual real-time information they can share. Okay, you would have seen that Peta Benkana initiative. So now you would have get the practical knowledge about how crowdsourcing is used using the social media. I mean Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, how it is used, and it is used in a platform for gather the real-time information about any natural disaster. How it is very useful. So you have seen that real-time example. Now what and all it is providing, you have to write in your answer. So definitely it provides the critical information. So critical information, and it acts as the dynamic tool because mass contribution is used to pinpoint. So take for example critical information means as again that kind of, if you take any water flooded area means how much water is flooded or how much water is logging in that particular area. So these are the critical information which will not be provided by the traditional methods. So here this type of critical informations are provided, and also it provides dynamic information. That means say for example at 10 o'clock how much water is logged in that area, at 10:15 how much water is logged in that area. So if crowds are providing the information means you can get that kind of dynamic information which is not possible in any other mode of warning systems. So definitely media will be there. They will be covering some areas, some disaster areas, but they won't be able to cover the entire area. So here if crowdsourcing is used means all kind of areas will be covered. So that means every kind of areas, how much disaster they have been, how much disaster they are facing, that can be got by this crowdsourcing of information. So definitely it provides the critical information and it acts as a dynamic tool. So next one is it connects the ground responders and policy decision makers and the researchers during the humanitarian emergencies. So ground responders means like those who are there in the they may be the victim or they may be some kind of volunteers. So it is connecting real time of the ground responders and the policy decision makers. Say for example, if one area is affected means if government wants to provide food means they have to get that real time information, that particular area how much it is affected. Then only they can decide on which mode they can transport the food. So for example, whether boat can be enough to transport the food, or whether they need any kind of drones or any kind of helicopters to transport the food, that can be easily get by the connecting those ground responders and the policy decision makers. So that the decision makers they can decide what kind of rescue activities they should be involved in. Also the researchers they can also research about that particular area. The data they can get, and they can also research about the particular area, and they can create some kind of mitigation plan for that particular area during the humanitarian emergency situation. So for example, like this kind of area is prone to earthquake means what kind of building structure can be used on that particular area. So earthquake that can however manage the earthquakes comparing to the other kind of building structures. So these kind of things are very important, and that can be done for the particular area by the crowdsourcing of data. So this is one for example, and it provides access to data which is critical for the disaster management and response. So again, I told that how much water logging is there. If those kind of data we are getting means, then disaster response we can easily plan. So for that particular area, they can create one drainage system, so that for the next time if the rain comes means they can easily respond. So I mean they can easily respond, or they can easily be prepared for that particular event in that area. So that micro planning can be done. So because it provides access to the data, that real time data, and that particular location data that is not available with another traditional way of systems. So next is the input from victims. So it is one of the important thing. It's a unique feature actually. It's a unique feature of the crowdsourcing, because here those who are suffering from the disaster, they are directly using the Twitter, and they are sharing their pictures, their locations, what kind of situation currently they are in, and whether any kind of food is available, or what kind of difficulties they are facing. So victims connectivity. So that is one of the important things, because they are sharing their information. They are suffering directly with the in the platform. So this inputs from victim is a unique feature which is not available in any other system. So it is one of the unique feature of the crowdsourcing. And another one is real-time information in disaster areas. It's also a very vital information, because real-time information is not possible at all. As I have already told, only media can give some kind of real-time information, but also they cannot cover the entire area. So real-time information from crowdsourcing means all the areas that can be connected with these kind of crowdsourcing. So real-time information we can obtain from almost all the areas, and different kind of from the large number of people means it will be very much helpful for disaster management. So next we can see about the case study, that is Mumbai floods. Actually I have taken this piece from the one cover story which is published in the Hindu last week Sunday. So I have taken this one from the Hindu only, based on this Mumbai floods case study. You have know that Mumbai is facing severe kind of crisis, I mean flood crisis, and Mumbai is very much active. One of the active states where Twitter handling is very active in that Mumbai zone. So based on that, they have a case study, and they definitely have to answer in answer writing. You have to give this case study so that it will enhance your mark scoring. So let us see the case study Mumbai floods. So you can see in this slide. So here monitoring the flood situation in real time is not possible due to absence of a system that captures essential data. So here in Mumbai, particularly last decade, it is facing a severe flooding situation. Our real-time data, so that is not available. Though they are having a network of 60 automatic weather stations, which is providing rainfall data. That means how much centimeter of rainfall is received in the particular area. That can be provided by the 60 automatic weather stations. Our flooding data is not available. For example, how much water logging is there or flooding is there in particular area, that is not available. So this lack of flooding data, it is provided or it is crowdsourced in real time from the Twitter. So this is flooding data. So they are getting the information from the Twitter, which is very useful for getting the real time information. Here there is an automated program which retrieves flood related data like location or how much water level or water logging is there. So you can see here whether the water level is up to ankle or knee or waist. So this kind of information they are getting from the Twitter. So that means citizens, they are actively sharing the information in Twitter, and these informations are retrieved by this automated program, and it is giving that flooding updates in the real time. So here the researchers are using this Twitter to crowdsource the flooding data as the information posted by people is freely available, because Twitter is a open platform, so anyone can get the information. So researchers are using the Twitter informations which are available which are available there, and they are using it for creating this flooding map. Also they are doing it with the 80 volunteers from NGO. They have been trying to give that accurate information. So they are cross-checking this data with the information provided from the Twitter. So what these volunteers gave and what has been shared in the Twitter, it's almost same only. So there is no difference. So we can trust upon the data shared in the Twitter. Obviously, no one will give the false information for the disaster response. So here also they are trusting. We can trust this Twitter response. Obviously, they when I have a doubt that whether this data they are sharing, whether it is correct or not. But here almost the data is equal only. I mean, like we can trust upon the data. So also researchers, I mean, especially the researchers means IIT Bombay. The researchers are from the IIT Bombay only. They are working on a portal. Already we have seen one portal, PETA Bencana initiative, which is operated in the Indonesia. So they are developing a same kind of data. I mean, a portal only and the app to collect data from the Twitter. And they will after developing that data, they can policy decision makers or people or everyone can see that flood maps of Mumbai. So that flood maps of Mumbai will be available in the real time. We have seen now in PETA Bencana how the maps are there, like alert level 1, 2, and what kind of impacts or some real time photos we have seen. So the same will be shared. The same kind of portal will be developed for Mumbai also, so that all the peoples can access the data lively. Also, they can provide information, real time information in that portal also. So this is the case study. Definitely you have to in your answer writing you have to indicate this case study also. So far we have seen about how social media is used for crowdsourcing. Here on the question itself we have indicated about mobile technologies. Even the mobile technologies can be used for the disaster management. So it is here everyone is using smartphones, and in every smartphone there will be an accelerometer attached to it. In the board itself it will be attached actually. And this accelerometer is used for the portrait and landscape mode, because smartphones you are shaking and you are viewing the video in or content in portrait mode or landscape mode, and it is getting changed, that the display is getting changed. That is because of the accelerometer. That means acceleration for smartphones acceleration. This accelerometer is used. And recently in South America they have developed one app using this accelerometer for detecting the earthquakes actually. So it was discovered that these accelerometers in fact it is detecting the tremors. That means before earthquakes you will be having tremors which won't be felt by the humans mostly, but these tremors which are captured in the seismic using the seismic waves seismography, it will be captured, and then only that particular earthquake is measured. So here in this case this accelerometer is in fact getting the or it is capturing the tremors before the seismic waves. So that means prior to the seismic waves, this accelerometer itself is catching that particular tremors. So how it is useful means people will get a yearly indication about the earthquake, and in case of recently in case in Peru one earthquake was there, and mostly the people who are using have used this accelerometer app, they are able to mentally prepare themselves for the earthquake, because earthquake you won't have that much time, it will suddenly strike and it will have a huge impact on us. However, we can save our life because of early warning. So since we are getting early warning before the seismic waves itself, or we are getting we are getting an information that earthquake may happen, means they can go into the some safest places, or they can prepare themselves somewhat compared to the traditional way. That means seismography, that seismic waves capturing method. So this is very important. However, its usefulness will be evaluated by how many people are using this particular accelerometer app. But however, 9 and 10% in India are already using the smartphone. So this kind of app definitely will have an impact on us. So even the people, they can those who are not using the smartphones, those who are using the smartphones are using this app, they can call them and they can alert their relatives or friends who are not using the smartphone. So connectivity, so that kind of things are very useful for particularly this earthquake. So earthquake is very it does have a huge impact, and it will affect you at a lightning speed. So this is one of the major areas where mobile technology is used, and in future also some more technologies may come for disaster management. So next, transformation. Yes, crowdsourcing and mobile technology, it does have a have a transformation from traditional information gathering to mass collaborations. So that means traditional information gathering, we are getting information from the weather stations or satellite images and news channels. So these are all the traditional information gathering mechanisms. Now it is changed into the mass collaboration. That means people, that huge amount of information we are getting. So that it is a kind of a transformation. So definitely the crowdsourcing, it does have an impact on the disaster management because of this mass collaboration. Then digital humanitarians and crisis mappers. So it is creating the digital humanitarians. That humanitarians means they are volunteers who are going voluntarily and help the people. Now everyone or all the people cannot do these rescue activities because of various reasons. Now they can share the information. By sharing the information itself, they can become a digital humanitarian. Also, they can be called as the crisis mappers. So that means mapping a crisis area, because they are sharing the information, and by that they are acting as a crisis mappers and digital humanitarians. So all then finally, crowdsourcing does strengthen the disaster risk management and community preparedness. So how it does this means because crowdsourcing, we are getting information. So particular area, how much it is getting impacted, that data will be available. So for say for example, one that platform for take for example that Peta Bencana initiative. So it will save the data. So 4 to 5 years, what under all the disasters happen in the particular area, it will have that data, and that data can be prepared. That can be used by the disaster response policy makers, or let's say like policymakers, they can use that data for the disaster risk management. So for example, if one area is very prone to earthquake means or very that area is waterlogged means, they can create a drainage system particularly for that area, so that in future if that same area is getting flooded means then the impact, that the risk will be somewhat lower than compared to the previous measures. So also community preparedness. So community can prepare themselves, so that take for example, if it's a flooding, for the same flooding means they will know about the particular area. So those community, they will prepare themselves. Even if they shift to a new area means they can get the detail about that particular area. So this kind of area, it is very prone to waterlogging. So they can get some kind of prepared. They can prepare themselves, especially that Twitter or crowdsourcing, that help us with the data also. That means at particular time, when the time or when the period that flooding or the particular disaster happened, so they can be prepared themselves already. All the communities, they are very well prepared. However, if you take the city people, because city people mostly it will be like a migration. So they will be constantly on the migration. I mean, they will move from one place to another. So when new people will come, means they can get this data and they can prepare themselves for all these disasters we have mentioned. So these kind of impacts is provided in the crowdsourcing. So very important topic. You can definitely use this for your mains answer writing or in the interview itself. So that's it for today's class. And if you like the video means, please do share, subscribe, and like. Also comment so that I can improve myself. And if anyone is interested to write the answers for the question I have already indicated, you can use these points and you can use your own points also. So if you need some review means, please do write your answers and send us to the mail which has been given in the channel information, or contact us in the Supreme Starters. The link has been given below. And do join us in the Telegram to get detailed notes about the topic I have given. So you will get some detailed notes. It will be very useful for your revision also. So thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you.